Hello world! Today is a very special day. It's a birthday of a very dear friend of mine, Mr. Fuego. Fuego is right here. And for Fuego, we're having a very special cake. Actually, cake is my favorite since I didn't know what Fuego likes. It's New York style cheesecake and a special candle that I never thought I would have to read an instruction how to light a candle. I never thought in my life it will happen, but here we go. So, ladies and gentlemen,
this looks fancy.
It's a fancy candle that's supposed to do some amazing things. Cumpleaños feliz.
That is awesome.
Happy birthday to you. Cumpleaños feliz. Cumpleaños feliz. Te deseamos todo. Cumpleaños feliz. And now you have to make a wish.
30,000 candles?
Have you ever
blown
blew a spinning candles?
Never.
You need help?
Okay,
you
probably.
make them. You make
Okay.
them.
Okay. 1, 2, 3. We did it!
Yay! See you later, world. The birthday t-shirt is coming. Painting t-shirts. It's still birthday. It's still a little bit of birthday. And we are making this celebration as cheesy as possible.
So cheesy.
So cheesy. So
we had delicious cheesecake earlier.
we did have a delicious cheesecake, and we are talking about Phoenix, the bird that rises from the ashes. Matter of fact, I don't think Phoenix ever thought what is right or what is wrong. It was just doing its own thing. So when it comes to Phoenix, I guess it's destined to go through cycles. Do you think there's any association with life situations when you are like a phoenix burning to ashes and then rise again? I think I do it like over and over again many times in my life.
In your life?
Probably,
like
yeah.
every chapter of your life is a new phoenix?
Yeah. Also hope. I mean, hope can crash and then can rise, right?
Yeah.
Why educate me? What do you think of Phoenix? What do you think of Phoenix?
So I'm going to get super nerdy on you.
Okay, go ahead.
Because the first thing I think of is the X-Men comic books.
Yeah, of course you think of comic books, but isn't it the mythological figure?
Yeah.
Phoenix?
Mm-hmm.
From which myth did it come? Do you know?
It's either the Greeks or the Romans.
Okay, we could shut the camera down and get all fancy and look it up. No,
Okay.
but no, we're not gonna do it.
No, we're not gonna do it.
No, we're not gonna do it. All I know about Phoenix is an amazing symbol of resilience, right?
Mm-hmm.
Resilience, and as everything in nature, it's a symbol of cycle. You know, it goes again. Everything eventually comes to the end, but the moment it ends, it starts over again. Isn't it cool? I think it is. And
should I show what I'm doing so they can see like work in progress?
sure, of course, you can.
This is my Phoenix.
Such a show off. Yeah, it's a pretty good Phoenix. It's a decent Phoenix.
Work in progress.
This guy is a pretty cool master of the
French fries.
pencil. The pencil wizard. The how would you call it? You're not an ink wizard.
No.
Per se. You're just
I mean, most of my art I do on the computer.
right.
So it's actually nice to take a break from that and do something that's just like analog.
Exactly. Yeah. So as artists, where do you find your inspiration?
I mean, for me, growing up, it was comic books. Because that's the kind of art that I was really into. And there were different comic book artists in the 80s and 90s that I really admire. And they're the reasons I kind of started. I mean, I drew even before that, But once I found that, I'm like, this is what I like doing.
Mm-hmm.
And so then I just started doing comic book art for a really long time.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't until I went to college that I kind of learned about computer graphics, because that was kind of a new thing back in the day. So I didn't even have a computer at
He's
the house.
an old fart.
So yeah. So then once I realized like, oh, I can do art on the computer, then I just went all in on that, and that's how I got into video game art, which is what I do now. But I still like just having a piece of paper and pencil, a gigantic pencil, by the way.
A gigantic pencil,
Yeah.
by the way.
Because I realized that if I used these markers, like I was gonna be here all night. Since it was
By
not
the
gonna work.
way, yeah, bigger tool, bolder move. Here
about
you
that.
go. Yeah.
Just like
I
my
came
axe.
up with it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's like the wet is the better.
Good night.
Bye. Oh, hi.
Hello, I'm back.
Yes, and he's back. When it comes to inspiration, sometimes a piece of cake can inspire me. Or, I don't know, a flower, of course, a cloud, of course.
Well,
Certain position of objects together. They're like, oh my goodness, look at this. Or,
the cake is the reason why I'm painting a face.
that's true too.
Yeah.
I
We started seeing
That's a very cool thing.
different shapes once we started cutting into.
Yes, we'll skip a few steps in the shapes that we saw. We started with a mushroom, by the way. It was an obvious mushroom. Yeah,
The
gigantic.
cake was the mushroom.
Yeah, it was in the shape. We took a picture of it. Yes, but then we moved to many different other. There were faces, by the way.
So there was a
faces
fish
too.
at one point,
There was a fish and a bird ended up to be
the phoenix,
Yes.
and so that is why
Sort of
I am
a
now
most-
painting
That's
them.
an amazing phoenix bird. I really love it. Oh, perfect topic. Fair. Is it right or wrong? Someone would say.
So I would say it's right, but everyone that I know here that speaks Spanish is from Latin America, so they all think I'm wrong.
Uh-huh.
So it's just a matter of perspective.
So let's say for those who don't speak Spanish at all and they have no idea why some people say zapatos
Yep.
or gracias.
Gracias.
And then other Spanish people,
Barcelona.
Spaniards, or not Spaniards, sorry, Spanish-speaking people say zapatos,
Yep.
gracias, in Barcelona.
Mm-hmm.
What's the difference?
So there's this crazy myth.
Which way is the right way?
There's no wrong or right. I mean,
Exactly.
every part of the world has their own way of speaking and their own dialect and their own accent. It's like saying which version of English is right.
Uh-huh.
You know, people in Australia speak different than people in the U.S. and they speak different than people in England.
Right.
Is there really a right or wrong?
Right. I just said right.
Let's see what you did there.
We should play a game. Don't say right or wrong. Okay, next time. Not right now. Relax, whatever.
I can't multitask, remember?
No. That
so-
and that would be a task number 4 on the top of the 3 previous ones. Yeah. Anyway, first task was to show up. Come celebrate your birthday with me. Yes, and let's do a video. See, that's what.
Yeah,
Yes.
I didn't think about the video
Gracias.
and the multitasking
Gracias, and I said it with a th.
with a thumb
Gracias.
properly.
So one thing that I really was very impressed with, it was your statement that you literally live your dream right now.
Yeah.
That's something, and it feels so right. I bet it feels so right.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely, it's quite a ride to get there. Didn't happen overnight.
Of course.
But,
Of course.
but yeah, and there was some false starts along the way. Worked for some other companies that I thought were going to do well, but finally moved to Atlanta 6 years ago and started working for a studio that's doing really well. So it's been super nice, like got a chance to work in the video game industry and working for a studio that's doing well and seeing the thing that you work on, literally be played by like thousands and thousands of people all
And
over
if
the
you
world.
see that's exactly the thing. But if you don't risk to sound cliche or anything, but seriously, if you wanted to give an advice to those young, talented people out there who are dreaming of, you know,
Getting in the industry.
getting in the industry of, for it's a digital art industry, and yeah,
So
find their little niche. What would you go? What would be your advice? What would you
So-
say?
a lot of people that try to, or especially young people that want to get into the game industry, haven't done a lot of research as far as like all the different jobs within the industry.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a lot of more technical jobs that are really in demand that a lot of people don't think about.
Technical jobs.
Yeah, so like for example, a lot of people, because when they play a video game, they see the character and they see the world that they're running around in. So a lot of people, or a lot of kids who want to be like a character artist or like an environment artist.
Mm-hmm.
But there's so many other jobs within inside of the industry.
Mm-hmm.
Like what I do, like I'm an effects artist. So I get to make all the magic spells and explosions and smoke and fire, and that's what I do for a living.
Mm-hmm.
But that was a very specific skill set that I had to learn.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot of those kind of jobs, like rigger, which is the guy that, or gal that will grab the 3D model and then put the bones inside of the model, so then an animator can like move the character.
It.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So you have effects artists, you have riggers, you have technical artists that kind of help, troubleshoot between departments. You have animators. So there's a lot of different jobs within that industry. And a lot of times kids just go for kind of like the flashier jobs when they think of making video games.
Mm-hmm.
And they're missing out on a big opportunity where there's like still like a really big demand for people with other skills.
So your advice would be research.
Do a lot of research.
The potential job market,
and-
or the research. How would you say it? Discover the potential.
Yeah, and then also figure out what you really like.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's very specialized.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, 10, 15 years ago, like you might have had one artist doing like 6 different jobs. Might have been the character artist, and he would have also animated the character, and he might have done like a few other things. And that almost doesn't happen anymore in the industry because it's so specialized with the software that we use.
Mm-hmm.
So it's figuring out of all the disciplines within the industry, which one do you really like, and then focus 100% on that discipline. Because sometimes we get portfolios from students and they're just all over the place and they haven't mastered any one thing.
Mm-hmm.
So it's almost better to have like 1 or 2 pieces that are really well done that show one specific skill instead of trying to show 10 different things that you think you know how to do.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a big one.
That's a big one. That's a big one even for me.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Mm.
It's good to focus on something. It's good to decide. Like just recently, my friend was telling me, just decide what you want, and everything goes from there so much easier. Just decide what you want.
That's hard though.
I guess sometimes it's the hardest job to do, to decide what I really want.
But I mean, I think obviously you're such a good painter. You're so good with just acrylics, and you know what I mean. It's like you're already going in that direction.
I'm going. I was born there, and it's just I need to realize how to utilize my skills and how to realize my potential in the best way. Plus, just shine shine, shine, shine. I mean, bring more smiles, bring more light, bring more lightness to the world, because there's plenty of darkness and misery. I don't have to add to that plate. I need to counterbalance.
Yeah.
I need to counterbalance. Plus, I don't know if I ever told you, my name in Russian is Svetlana, which Svet is light. It's, if in Spanish it would be Lucia, like La Luz.
Oh, got it.
So if I was a Hispanic girl, I would be Lucia.
Lucia.
Or
Lucia.
Lucia. See. Anyway, more light, ladies and gentlemen. That's what we are all about. So here we are.
Look at that.
Wrong.
Own custom shirt.
Yes, and right.
So cool.
And not so long ago I started doing it. Oh, did I mess it up? That's my trademark. A little messy stain. A little messy stain. It's a trademark of Confieta, yeah, because me, I'm a messy princess, yes. So anyway, that's gonna be your trademark too, and I'm gonna write my name. I mean my artistic nickname.
Which is?
Confieta. I'm gonna write Confieta on the sleeve, and that's how you will know that it's an original, painted, one of a kind, super cool, charged with positive, beautiful t-shirt.
How cool is that?
And you can show off your little...
Are you sure?
Up to you.
You know?
It's up to you.
I just don't want to look like a show off.
No, you didn't look like show off the previous 5 times.
Oh, the previous 5. Okay.
You flashed it to the camera, yeah. I think you know what? You're doing such a fabulous job with that eraser.
You know, just kind of bring out those highlights.
And it's like an ocean of fire right now. And where are the eyes?
Okay.
Get a pointer and point that the eyes are...
The eyes are on fire.
Ah,
So
the
you're
eyes are on
seeing the
fire. They are like...
coming out of where the eyes would be. So you're not really seeing the eyes.
I got you. So it's
Because you're seeing the flames.
Oh my god, it's a scary image. Oh wow. Yes, now I see it. Still fantastic job.
And then we're talking about the highlights with the eraser. Yeah, and that's a pretty cool trick that you can use just whenever you have, especially with like obviously anything done in pencil. You just go over the dark spots with the eraser, and you can get some nice highlights.
There you go. Well,
My art tip for the day.
guys, I think that's it for today. We're done with the shirt. We're done with the phoenix. We're done with well, I'm not done, but I will continue mess up the right sleeve of this fabulous, fantastic birthday T-shirt. And till next time, love you all. Bye.
And thank you for all this. Thank you for my awesome birthday cake.
And you are so very welcome. So, hasta...
/t-shirt.
Exactly. Hasta la próxima.
Hasta luego.